124 straight days of Clipper stock. Welcome in. I'm Adam Osland. This is your trade deadline special. We're in the final hour. This cat is killing me today. Tuka, chill. What did I just do? Oh, I took myself off the screen. The cat did that. Tuka, chill. We're in the final hour of the NBA trade deadline. And of course, we were going to go live. I know a lot of you right now are frustrated. You're doing the meme with the guy or the stick saying, do something, Clippers, just do something. No one's making a move just to make a move. It's okay. I'm going to move this cat to, Tuka, stop it. I will trade you this cat for a bag of chips right now. Bag of kibble and bits. Is that what it used to be called? I know the Clippers haven't made a move yet. It's possible they don't make one. I think they're at least going to pick up somebody in the buyout, which is not nothing with the guys that could be available. We'll get to your questions in here. I'm Adam Osland. This is Clippers Talk. My hand is just getting shredded here. Oh, through the meat grinder. My goodness. I feel like Steve Buscemi and Fargo. I should have called this cat wood chipper instead of Tuka. I'm sorry. Tuka, not Luka. Not Luka. The cat is not named Luka. Everybody chill. I'm a closet Laker fan. I've been hiding this from you the entire time. It's nothing like that. Yeah, I just got this kitten and I named it Luka. No real reason. Yeah, Clippers fans have gone into complete doomer mode. I understand it to a degree. You want to see your team do something because everybody else is doing something. But let me read a couple of tweets for you guys that I think can help bring a little bit or shed a little bit of light on the situation. One of these is from Justin Wilson. I had his brother on yesterday, Jamal Christopher, if you missed that episode. Justin Wilson at LA Clippers Film said, there is no deadline move that can be made for the Clippers in 2025 that would supersede Kawhi getting up 20 field goal attempts per game and 34-plus minutes a game consistently. Nothing's more important than that. Nothing is more important than just Kawhi getting back to playing at an all-NBA level every night. That is by far the most important thing for this Clippers team. And he has struggled the last couple of games. Clearly. I'm not overly concerned about it. I expect him to play much better tonight. The Clippers are having a ball game as well. It's not just the trade deadline. They're taking on the Indiana Pacers at Intuit Dome. But I thought Chuck Mockler also had a really good tweet earlier, and he may join me in a little bit. Law Murray might join me in a little bit. Chuck said the Clippers don't have multiple valuable picks to trade. They don't have any must-have guys. Sure, Norm's value is the highest it will be, but he won't be traded. They want to be flexible to prepare for the post-Kawhi Harden era. This deadline was always going to be boring. It's played out that way so far for Clipper Nation. So a lot of us aren't shocked by this. Timothy said, hey, Adam, get ready for the outrage from the fans. Oh, I've been aware of it. It's obviously something. Let's switch microphones. It's obviously something that's been happening here all day, last night. It's almost like the Clippers are a victim of their own success a little bit, right? Because they've been this good this season, because they're 6 games above 500 and they've only had Kawhi for 12 games so far, a lot of people have raised their expectations of what they're expecting from this team. If they were 6 games under 500, maybe we'd be talking about a sell-off. But because they've been this good, when a lot of people were saying before the season started, Oh, they could be the 12th best team in the West. They could be a bottom 4 team in the Western Conference. But now that they look to be in the mix and have a chance to contend in the West, if Kawhi gets right, people are freaking out. They've been a victim of their own success. Where's PJ Tucker, by the way? I know he's been bouncing around during this trade deadline. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Where's PJ Tucker at the moment? Does anybody know? Does anybody know where PJ is? I'm just trying to let people understand the reality of the situation with this Clippers team. Do I want them to make a move? I want them to make a move. It's not just to make one. If it's going to be positive, we'll see if Law Murray joins us at some point. I don't want them to shake things up for the sake of shaking things up. This is a good team. Kawhi, Zubac, James Harden, Norman Powell. This is a good team. Look, I get it. I understand. This is something where you see the Lakers go out and be gifted Luka Doncic. They get Mark Williams last night, whose defensive numbers leave a lot to be desired, by the way. His rim protection. I'm not sure he's the rim runner and rim defender that some people think at this time, but you see your rival in LA go out there and make huge moves and get better and look like they're back in the mix. And I think the Lakers probably are. And you want to do something. But sometimes the best move is not making one. You don't want to overreact. You don't want to be impulsive. You don't. Someone posted this earlier, and it's so true. You don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry. Or else you're going to end up buying a lot of stuff that you don't need. All right. The Wizards are expected to trade or waive Reggie Jackson. Reggie Vision? Back in the fold? I am watching Twitter. I'm checking to see, man, there are some really wild things being said right now about the Clippers by some people out there. And I know they're just looking for retweets and likes, and they don't really mean this stuff. But there's some pretty hateful tweets going around right now. It's a little much, a little over the top. You don't make a move just to make a move. I'm sorry. I have been talking about, yes, if there's a way to move Terance Mann for the right guy, you look into that. Robert Williams hasn't been traded yet. Just going to throw that out there, to my knowledge, unless I missed it in the last 5 minutes here when the cat was attacking me. Alex Webb said, bring back Reggie and his PB&J snacks. Oscar, I hope this is a joke. PJ was a Clippers glue guy, and the team has unraveled since getting rid of him and his shoe collection. Okay, it's a joke. Someone said they need a lengthy power forward. Some people have been saying that. You know, they have one. Nico Batum. I'm going to tell you this every show until you guys listen to me. Nico Batum in the playoffs has a chance to start at power forward. If you need somebody to do that for the right matchup where you want Kawhi to slide down to the 3, Nico can do it. There's your solution. I don't know why people haven't thought about this, but the key is keeping him fresh. Until then, Nico still has it. Just saw him with France this last summer. It was awesome. He's been a little bit up and down, but overall, he's been fine so far this year. Yeah, well, you're talking about using him as a power forward. They need a lengthy power forward. I'm just saying they can have one in Nico Batum. Kawhi also qualifies as a power forward in today's league. What they need at power forward is not just a lengthy power forward. They need him to be able to shoot. You understand that. If you're going to play a power forward next to Ivica Zubac, he has to be able to shoot, because Ivica Zubac is not a shooter, and that's going to clog up your offense. If you have two guys in the front court that can't shoot, how are you going to spread the floor?
Like, I question people's basketball IQ sometimes when they bring up this stuff. Oh, we need a power forward. We need a traditional power forward. We need a rim rocker and a guy who can get rebounds and stuff. You also need him to be able to shoot. And those guys are hard to find. It's not easy. They cost you a lot. So let's all take a step back for a second and acknowledge the fact that the Clippers are 6 games above 500 at the trade deadline when Kawhi has only played 12, not 30, not 25, 12 games. I think Lawrence Frank cooked this last offseason. I think he made the right moves. Are you not excited over the fact that Paul George is in Philadelphia and they didn't pay him all that money? I mean, come on. I don't think some people understand the PJ Tucker situation. Oh, we got something for you guys. Los Angeles Clippers are trading Terance Mann and Bones Highland to the Atlanta Hawks for Bogdanovic and 3 second-round picks. Wow. There you go. There's your move. That's big. I love Bogi. Not Bojan Bogdanovic. Bogdanovic. I am a fan. I have been a fan. You know I'm from Sacktown. This is a really good get for the Clippers. I am going to forever miss Terance Mann, and he is a Clippers legend. What he did in Game 6 to get them to the conference finals, he is a Clippers legend. I will always love T-Man. But I've been talking about it over the last couple of days. If he's not going to be able to get out there on the court anyways when he's healthy, because if this roster's healthy, Mann's not playing, how do you not think about trading him? This is the move. Bogdanovic. I am a big fan of his game. He finished top 5, I believe, in 6 Man of the Year voting last year. He finished top 5 a couple of years before that. He is having an off year shooting wise. He's only played 24 games, but he can handle the rock some. He can shoot it from the outside. Bogdanovic is a 38% three-point shooter, and he will put them up. He's averaging 6 attempts per game. Last year was 8 attempts per game. This is a big move. 3 second-round picks. Lawrence Frank cooked, guys. It happened. I understand a lot of people are going to be sad about T-Man. I am too. But Bogi is more of a need. He's going to get out there on the court. Terance Mann was out of the rotation. I've been talking about this, and I've been saying I think they need more help in the backcourt than maybe the front court. What does it mean for KPJ? I don't know. This is a big move by the Clippers, and I'm a big fan of it. I have always Bogi has been my guy going back to Sacramento. He had huge games against the Lakers. He was a Laker killer at times. He's 32. His minutes have been down this season. I know he's been banged up, but Bogdanovic, I like this move. The 3 second-round picks. So now they have 4 second-round picks. 4. This is the type of move I think we were looking for, guys. I didn't know they could get him. He wasn't exactly on my radar. Might have brought him up once, but getting the 3 second-round picks in there too, the Clippers did well. And for everybody saying, oh, man, that contract isn't tradable, I guess it was. I'm happy for T-Man. I think he's going to get a much bigger role in Atlanta. I hope he balls out. I hope Terance Mann absolutely lives up to his potential there, but it just wasn't going to happen with this Clippers team with the way it's constructed now. He's an all-time fan favorite. The tribute video will be legendary. He helped them get and really put them over the top to get to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in franchise history. Love Terance Mann. Will always be a fan of Terance Mann, a great ambassador for Clippers basketball. Great with the fans. An all-time favorite Clipper role player. I know people are sad to see Terance Mann go, but I think it's a good trade. That's where I'm coming from. I think it's the right move. I think it's the move he had to make. It makes sense. Terance Mann wasn't getting out on the court. This was something that had to be done, I think. If Terance Mann is not going to be able to get out on the court because they brought in Chris Dunn, because they brought in Derrick Jones Jr., they brought in a lot of guys, Batum's back, that can do a lot of the stuff that Terance Mann does. So it just wasn't working. He never found his rhythm. He got banged up this season, Terance Mann, right as he was starting to hit his stride. Then he came back, played well again. Then there's been a down stretch. It just hasn't been working. That's what this is about to me. Now, what about Bogdanovic's contract? I believe he is under contract for 1 year after this. Let me double check. Yes. So this is a really team-friendly deal. So he's making $17 million this year, $16 million next season, and it's a team option for the year after that. So it doesn't hurt them having big flexibility in a couple of seasons. Doesn't hurt them there. The Clippers need a guy who'd be more aggressive, looking for his offense out there. This works. They need more three-point shooting, guys. They've been shooting 33% from three over the last 15 games. This makes all the sense in the world to get Bogi. He hasn't been great so far this season, but I know he's been banged up some. I've been a fan. I believe in Bogdanovic. I'm with it. This is something where it's not just making a move to make a move. This fills needs. This is what the Clippers needed to do. Love T-Man. Will always be a Terance Mann fan. I've always been a Bogi fan. I'm from Sacktown. I've watched this guy get buckets on the Lakers. He gets right health-wise, they're cooking. He can bring the ball up. He helps in that way. It's just about fit. And Terance Mann, because the type of guys they brought in, it started to feel like he could become expendable because the skill set was very similar to a lot of other guys. Shadow, please. We got a big trade here. I think he'll flourish in Atlanta. Terance Mann needs to be in a place where he knows he's getting consistent minutes and playing a consistent position and consistent role each and every night. That was not going to happen with the Clippers. Who he was every night was a moving target, who he needed to be for them. And credit to T-Man for not complaining about the versatility he had to show out there all the time. So it's Bones Highland is also involved, guys. That means, and that's no surprise at all. You know, I'm a skeleton key holder. I hope it works out for him in Atlanta. I could actually see Bones Highland coming off the bench and bringing some continuity with Trae Young going to the bench, Bones coming onto the floor. I could see there being some continuity there, some consistency in your offense there, but it creates an open roster spot. So the Clippers currently, according to Justin Russo, are about $500,000 under the luxury tax, and they're still $7 million under the first apron, which they can't go over. Bones wasn't playing this year. We know the deal with that. This is something where, I don't know, attitude issues, him being sent home with PJ Tucker last All-Star break. The writing has been on the wall for a long time. And I feel for Bones to some degree because he had the backup point guard job before they brought in James Harden last season. Now, you had to do it. I would have been interested to see what would have happened if they didn't have Russ, and this is an alternate timeline thing, and Bones Highland was the backup to James Harden. Because I think he can be a solid backup in this league. I believe in Bones Highland. I do. It's just about, well, he and Terance Mann, they weren't playing on this team. So even if they go and they ball out in Atlanta, I will be happy for them. It wasn't going to happen here, guys. It just wasn't. So it frees up a roster spot. Is this for Jordan Miller to be converted to a standard contract? Is this for bringing somebody in on the buyout market? Bogi is a killer at times. Like, he lives for big moments. In fact, didn't he have a big one for, let me check his Olympics numbers last year. Guys, remember the game against Team USA that Bogdanovic had that got them up big against Team USA? They would eventually lose. I believe that was the Bogi game. Right? They were up 20, up 17. A lot of that was because Bogdanovic, he had 20 in that game. Yeah. United States came back to win 95-91, but that was Bogi ball. Steph came through late. Bogi was like the best player on the floor for Serbia in that game. Jokic had 17. Bogi had 20. I want you guys to go back and review that game and just see how good he can be. If you're not familiar with his game, if you're like Shaq, you have to apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad to see Terance Mann go. But at least it's not, they're bringing in someone where you're like, how is this guy going to help more than Terance Mann was? Well, we can see the pathway for Bogi helping. So Justin Russo is saying the Clippers create an open roster spot for Bogdanovic for the Mann Highland trade, and they're just over $2 million under the luxury tax, which means they can go out in the buyout market and still bring somebody in. They still have room left or money left from the mid-level exception that they used, obviously, on Derrick Jones Jr. this past summer. I don't know what his last injury was, and I know he's been banged up at times this season, but I'm just guessing they were stashing him away a little bit, Atlanta. I don't know this, but he was probably a trade candidate. You've been seeing this over the last week. Oh, KD's out with an ankle injury. Like guys who are trade candidates sometimes end up on the injury report. A lot of people are shocked of them trading Terance Mann. I'm not. It made too much sense. I told you guys a couple of days ago. If Mann's healthy and the rest of the roster is healthy, how is he playing? He wasn't going to. So I'm not shocked by this at all. You open up a roster spot, you get 3 second-round picks of it, you replenish your second-round picks from a team that I don't know how good Atlanta's going to be. I don't think they're that far away from trading Trae Young at some point and just going complete rebuild. They just traded DeAndre Hunter to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Those second-round picks might be high. Makes all the sense in the world to get Bogi. It is sad, Clay. We got to thank T-Man. We'll always be a fan of Terance Mann, and I hope he fulfills his potential in Atlanta. It just wasn't going to happen here. Not with this team, not with the way the roster was constructed. And it looked like his confidence this season, the way it was fluctuating, it wasn't headed to the right direction. Mann wasn't going to get back into the rotation, get enough minutes to catch a rhythm. It wasn't going to happen. Who are we picking up on the buyouts? We got to see who are the buyout candidates first, my guy. That's the issue here. I'm shocked by how many people are shocked they would trade Terance Mann. I'm not surprised by this at all. Check a couple days ago. The show I did talking about was you move him for Robert Williams. So for me, this made all the sense in the world. And especially because the guy you're getting back. It is a need. More shooting. Again, Clippers have been just over 33% from three the last 15 games. They needed more shooting. They needed more on-ball creation. Guy can bring it up the floor. Bogi can do all that. The health is a concern. I'm not familiar with all the injuries he's had this season. He hasn't had a great year. But I think it's all still there. Yeah. Hey, Mann, it's not just what Mann did in one game, guys. Just last season, his defense on Luka in that first-round series was phenomenal. Probably the best defense I've ever seen him play. And he was one of 3 of the longest tenured Clippers on the roster. So I understand people are going to be sad. I am too. Terance Mann, I wanted him to be a Clipper for life. I thought it was headed that direction for a while. I remember the Spider-Man meme. We thought at one point, is he going to be the baby Kawhi and all these things? It never materialized, but we'll always celebrate him. If you guys can call him Clippers legend and these things, hey, he's earned the love. He's earned the celebration for who he has been as a Clipper. And for a guy that has been asked to play every position and never complained about it, that alone should have you remembering Terance Mann very fondly as a Clipper. So now, Bogi and 3 second-round picks. And by the way, Bones Highland is also going to Atlanta. That's the least shocking part of the move, obviously. Someone getting at me. Ow. Tuca. No. Oh, God. Someone getting after me. Saying, I thought Mann was untouchable. It's like, well, then you weren't paying attention to what I just said 2 days ago. Mann was untouchable. He hasn't been playing. How is he going to play? Again, what was the path for Terance Mann minutes? The only way would be if somebody got hurt. That's the only way it was going to happen. So what's the point of having him on the roster as he just picked up that 3-year extension, earned, which obviously the Atlanta Hawks are more than willing to pay. So everybody that said, oh, this is a poison pill contract or whatever, nobody's going to take this contract. Well, that wasn't true. But it just didn't shake out in Mann's favor this season when it came to lineups and rotations. Chris Dunn, better point of attack perimeter defender. DJ, the same. Both were more willing shooters. Chris Dunn really struggling with his shot. But, at times, Terance Mann, it just looked like he lost his confidence out there. And he got lost in the shuffle. Tuca, for the love of God. I got to stop doing these from home. Appreciate you guys in here. I'm out of Moslem. This is Clippers Talk. Guess I went live at the right time. 10 minutes later, the trade goes down. Tuca, this cat is a freaking saber-toothed tiger. Like the things we will do for kittens, what we will put up with. I'm getting like acupuncture every day from this cat. Stop it. Stop biting me. He just wants to play, but oh, God. Bogi has injury issues. But the difference is if Bogi's healthy, he offers stuff they actually need. If Terance Mann is healthy, they still have other guys that can do what he does, and he can't crack the rotation. That's the difference. They also got 3 second-round picks, guys, for a team that only had 1 and only has 1 first-round pick they can trade. That is a great move. Lawrence Frank cooked. I should probably retweet my initial tweet and say, man, reaction episode. Probably be good for business, right? I love T-Man. I'm, conflicted, partially sad, partially excited. F said people pay good money for that acupuncture, Adam. Take the pain. Yeah, Bones did cost 2 seconds. I thought at one point, I'm not saying they're getting all the seconds back because they're trading Bones. Somebody coming after me and said, yeah, don't tell me, man. They didn't say Mann was untouchable for a long time. The team, yes, for a long time they did. He wasn't untouchable now. Yes, Mann was untouchable. Things change. The evidence changed. The roster changed. You try to pull receipts on me? The receipt master? You come for the receipt king, you best not miss. I literally have a show in the live section 2 days ago talking about how it doesn't make sense to keep Terance Mann. I've been talking about this for a while. Some people are saying, oh, Ty Lue picked KPJ over T-Man. Well, KPJ also has stuff that he offers that Terance Mann doesn't have. They have more guys that can replace what Terance Mann can do than what KPJ can do, or now what Bogi can do. It is as simple as that. For people not understanding this, it is as simple as that. They have crossover skill sets with guys that can do what Terance Mann can do, but other players on this roster that offer something different than T-Man. Oh, my God. Are you guys? Look at this. Get the fuck. Get off. Pack up. Go play with the other cat. All right, I'm back. That's all Tuca. I think the vast majority of fans understand why this move was made. No sound for the casuals. Y'all can't hear my truth? You don't want to hear it then. Keep your earmuffs on if you don't want to hear the truth. Oh, wait, I was literally muted because of the cat. I'm back now. I'm back. I took it off the mute. What? You really can't hear me now?
How about now? How about now? Can you guys hear me now? Am I good? Am I good now? This is not hilarious. I'm pissed. I can't still be muted. What? Good now. Cancel the video. We back. Yes. We're good. Well, I want to plug back into this thing and then tell me if we're still good. Tuca, you agent of chaos. All right. What about now? Am I good now? This was not my fault.
This is a 3-month-old kitten that has no idea how important this podcast is. I'm sorry. I apologize. We're good. We're still good. We're still good. Yeah, I'm the one pissing off Tuca. Really? Look at my hands. I could have been a hand model like George Costanza. No longer. So the majority of Clipper Nation understands why this trade was made. They have a bunch of guys who can do what Terance Mann does. They don't have a bunch of guys that can do what KPJ does, good or bad. They definitely don't have a bunch of guys that can do what Bogi does. They can make up for the loss of Terance Mann. Now they've added a different element, a different dimension to their second unit with Bogi Ball. Not Bogi. Bogi. Bogdanovic. Again, you go back and check out that game for Serbia against Team USA in the tournament in the Olympics where they're up by 17, 18, 19 points, I think it was. Look how good Bogi was in that ball game. Just fantastic. Bogi was so good for the Clippers as we're 10 minutes away from the trade deadline ending. I should send out links to Chuck and Will just in case they want to join. I'm sorry about the technical issues here. We're usually more buttoned up and more professional than this, but not really. Do I predict another trade? I predict the Clippers are going to get somebody on the buyout market. I'll predict that. If they could upgrade the center position, that would be nice. But maybe they're just rolling with Drew Eubanks. And that's it. I think he can be better than Mo Bamba. That's all we need. People saying Patty was good in the Olympics too. Okay, that's fair. But he hasn't been good in the NBA in a while. Guys, Bogi is a year removed from being top 5 in six-man of the year voting. He's really good. He's been good for a long time. He finished 5th last year. He was getting 17 a game while shooting 37% from the outside, 43% from the field because most of his shots are threes, so it brings down your field goal percentage. You got to understand that. Averaging 3 assists per game. He was getting 17 a game the 23-24 season. Year before that, 14, 15, 16, 15, 14. This is what he does. Oh, my God. This is what this cat does. Tuca's revenge. Some people want Reggie Jackson back, who has been waived. Some people are saying absolutely heartbreaking, my current favorite Clipper. I get all that. I just don't understand how people couldn't realize this would be on the table. I love Terance Mann. I'm always going to be a T-Man fan. He is an all-timer. All-first-team Clippers role player and legend for what he did in Game 6. 39 points. I mean, people, though, are posting Bogi highlights from last season where he dropped 40 with 10 threes off the bench last season. Bogi really gives you a different dimension and offers a lot that just Terance Mann doesn't have in his bag. That's what this is. Tuca annoying me has become the subplot of this podcast. Yes. She's like trying to eat a Bic pen now. Go fetch. Now we have 3 sharpshooters. Batum, Bogi, and Norm. I don't know if I could say Batum is a sharpshooter because he doesn't take enough. He is a clutch, timely shot maker from the outside. Someone said, who got a bogey in their nose? Bogi coming off the bench is great for this Clippers team. Now, let's review his injury issues this season. I am curious about that. What has he been dealing with? So, let's see if I can pull up his injury history. So, he's been out with personal reasons lately, guys. So, that to me tells me, maybe they had him in bubble wrap as the trade deadline was approaching. Maybe that's all it is, and he'll be available on Saturday. He's had a knee injury, a leg injury, a quad injury, and a hamstring injury this season. That's what he's had, which I'll take. While it's a bunch of different injuries, it's not the same chronic injury. It's not great. He is, I believe, let's see, 32. Bogdanovic age. I think he's 32, yes. And when does he turn 33 here? Why am I not seeing his birthday? Why is it unlisted? It's unlisted. T-Man is a true pro. It's a numbers crunch. So, yeah, Jazz are shipping Schroeder to Detroit. Well, it makes even more sense then. The Memphis Grizzlies are trading Marcus Smart, a 2025 first-round pick, to the Washington Wizards in a multi-team trade that sends out 2 second-round picks to Memphis. Memphis creates roster flexibility with the move. Okay. Sorry, I just saw that. So the Dennis Schroeder deal looks to be, obviously you bring in Bogi. That was their move. Schroeder is going to Detroit. Marcus Smart traded. Jordan Miller needs more minutes, says Clay. Well, now they have an open roster spot. I believe Jordan Miller just reached his 50-game limit up in the big leagues on his two-way contract. So we've been saying, oh, KPJ's traded. Well, I guess that answers the question then about what's going on with Bogi. Multiple people saying that. Why am I not seeing that? Who has the report on KPJ? Milwaukee Bucks. Oh, not now, Tuca. We got to trade. KPJ to the Bucks. Oh, Tuca doesn't like this trade either. All right. Well, I was not much of a fan. I think you guys knew that, of KPJ's game. And this means we got Chris Dunn and Bogi coming off the bench handling the basketball. And I'm all for it. Oh, my God. I'm not even talking about the trades going on. I'm talking about freaking Tuca here. KPJ has been traded. I'm still trying to find the official report. Okay, I see it here from Chris Haynes. Marion Biachamp. I'm not familiar with his game. I'm not familiar with his name, how to pronounce it. He is 24 years old, small forward. When was he drafted? He's averaging 2 points per game. So they didn't bring in two guys, so they still have an open roster spot. I mean, I'm all for this move. I hope KPJ figures it out, but it wasn't getting much better with the Clippers. I think everybody here knows how I feel about it. He's too inconsistent, possession to possession. You don't know what you're going to get. I can't trust a guy like that in the playoffs. Ultimately, what the Clippers did today, they made themselves much more dangerous in a playoff series. They have less question marks in a playoff series now. And by the way, how many of you, like I believe this guy Clay has been saying for a while, you can't trade KPJ. He doesn't have a contract. You're not able to trade his contract. Well, it just happened. I've heard that from a few people. He doesn't have a tradable contract. You can't trade him. Heard that with Terance Mann too. Can't trade him until the offseason. So we got Dunn and Bogi bringing the ball up in the second unit. I'm good with that. Oh, by the way, Kawhi talking about the second unit needs to get better. That second group needs to get better. I think it just did. I think this show's about to get better. We got big on. Chuck, how you feeling about all these moves?
Pretty good. I'm taking a quick break from work. The Terance Mann one, emotionally, I bummed. Obviously, I think everyone, it's hard to not be sad to watch the longest tenured Clipper go away. But for his sake, he's going to get playing time. It was time, evidently, 5 minutes that last game. It felt like the writing was on the wall. If Bogdan can get his shooting better and stay a little bit healthy, I really like it for the Clippers. There is a reason they got some second-round picks in this deal. So we just got to hope it works out. But, bummed for Terance. Happy he gets some playing time. Hope Bogdan, who does really hate the Lakers, can bring some good stuff to the Clips.
Yeah, and it's like, if Bogdan's healthy, he has use on this Clippers team. He has a skill set that they really need. If Terance Mann's healthy, he's not as needed because they have other guys that can do what he does and better. That's the difference to me. And now the other move is KPJ is going to Milwaukee. So I think
Who's handling the ball now in the second unit? I did not like KPJ as a player, but like, who's bringing the ball up for the second unit now?
I think Bogi and Chris Dunn are going to be the guys.
Okay, interesting.
Hey, it's not like KPJ didn't have some backcourt violations.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm excited about this because I think this is a much more ready-made playoff constructed team now with the guys they have. These guys are more consistent on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, I like that idea of the ready-made playoff, right? Like I've been talking about how I was worried about the rotations. Well, they got figured out pretty quickly with these trades, right? They moved KPJ and Terance Mann, so now it is Dunn and Bogi's backcourt for that second unit. Interesting. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm happy KPJ was gone. I'm happy his supporters, who I think only were supporting him for one specific reason, are no longer going to be, Clippers fans or whatever.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
But yeah, here's to a new era. Here's to the Bogdanovic, Chris Dunn, backup, backcourt era. But it's good for the rotation in the long term. The things are settled. That ready-made playoff line you had is great. I totally agree.
I'm a big fan of Bogi being from Sacramento, and he had some big games against the Lakers back in the day. He was a killer against them, and he just had a huge game for Serbia against Team USA. He was the leading scorer in that game where they were up almost 20, and Team USA had to come back, and Steph hit all those shots in the tournament. Like, that was all Bogi. So I'm still hopeful that he's not too banged up. And I was looking at the type of injuries he's had this season. It's basically been like, it's been a hamstring at times. It's been a knee at times, a leg injury. It's not one chronic issue, it seems like. It's little things that have dinged him up. And then he was just out for personal reasons. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it's because it was close to the trade deadline and Atlanta was just stashing him and putting him in bubble wrap. And they need three-point shooting. Chuck, he was top 5. He finished 5th last year. So I think right behind Norman Powell in 6th man of the year voting.
Damn.
And he was getting 17 a game. He had a 40-point game last season.
If he can get back to even, 70% of where he was kind of at, peak of what his peak is, this is a great trade for the Clippers, right? It was low risk too. I haven't seen anyone comment, like, it sucks from an emotional perspective, but this is not that high a risk for the Clippers. They gave up no assets. I'm surprised. Oh no, the cat's going crazy. I'm surprised they were able to get picks for this, just considering, like, Bones is filler, right? Like, he's not doing anything. Yeah, I don't know.
I hope they have a place for Bones. I actually like the idea of Bones bringing some continuity, going from Trae Young with the starters, and then you bring Bones off the bench for him. There are some similarities. I know we're talking about a very poor man's Trae Young, but there are some similarities in this game. I hope he gets playing time.
I hope he gets playing time too. That's the thing with both these guys, is you're like, go get some playing time. The Clippers, it's a really hard team to get playing time for. If you're not a top 7 guy in the rotation, you don't really know, like, when you're going to get consistent time. So this is great for those guys.
Yeah, I think overall, with the second round picks, with a low risk move, as you mentioned, because you're moving a guy who wasn't playing anyways. That's why a couple of days
ago, both of them kind of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, both of them definitely were. Nothing surprises you, of course, is low risk when it's talking about Bones Highland. But a lot of people are shocked that, I thought Terance Mann was this untouchable guy. People from outsiders that didn't follow Clippers basketball that much. It's like, well, he was at one point, yes. But this season, when they brought in Chris Dunn, when they brought in DJ, it felt like at that time there's a chance that Terance Mann doesn't get the extension picked up, and they had those guys for insurance purposes. Then they give him the extension, but he became a luxury to have if you're hurt. Well, if you're healthy, he's not playing. So what are we doing here?
Yeah. I don't know. It's people, I'm seeing some of the comments. someone's upset about Bogdan's injuries and is not shooting well. We just got to hope that it gets better. Again, like, it's better to have this guy than what we were having. He's going to get time. It's a better roster than he was on. I'm 90% sure. Like, and we didn't give up anything. I think we're also, if the Clippers weren't playing like absolute dog shit, I think people would be a lot more excited about this move, because it's not like the Clippers are really hitting their stride right now.
No.
So I think that's playing into it too.
You get smoked by the Lakers. They get Luka somehow. You're feeling pretty terrible, but I hope some can see the big picture now of what this Clippers team is doing. And like you talked about and Justin Wilson is talking about, this still comes down to, it's about getting Kawhi healthy, getting back to playing 35 minutes a night, looking like Kawhi. And if he is, you feel like you have a shot in the 7-game series.
And that's what it's all about, right? I think Law Murray was tweeting. Law Murray was going to war with some people on Twitter today, and I was fully on Law Murray's side. Yeah, this team, we're trying to get Kawhi out of a first round. That's what we're. That's goal one right now, is get out of the first round healthy with Kawhi Leonard, and hopefully this helps it. So I have to go back to work now. I'm being summoned. Be nice to Adam in the chat. Be happy about the trades, and come visit the Natural History Museum. Adam, we will be talking tomorrow for sure.
Sounds good, Chuck. Appreciate it. There goes Chuck Mockler, taking a little time out from work to pop in. Appreciate him. We'll have a Clips and Dip episode for you tomorrow. So people who are upset about KPJ, I don't know what they were all watching, because I've been talking about it since the start of the season. His shot selection, low IQ basketball, it doesn't translate. That stuff doesn't translate to the playoffs well at all. He was a necessity because of deficiencies on the roster. Now with Bogi, I'm hoping he's healthy. They don't have as many of those deficiencies. Like, this is a player in KPJ who is extremely erratic. He reminded me a little bit of Russell Westbrook with his up and down play all the time. I have no idea what you'd get from him in a playoff series. Like, that scares me. You need reliable ball handlers, guys who are sure-handed with the basketball, that are making good decisions out there. And KPJ's never been in the playoffs before. This is a more ready-made playoff roster now, the way it's constructed for a series with this Clippers team, with Bogi. Has experience and is just a vet. He needs to be healthy, yes. I think just look back 1 year. Just go back 1 year, guys, and Bogi's dropping 40. He's top 5 in 6 Man of the Year voting. Right? There's no downside to what the Clippers did. Even if Terance Mann balls out in Atlanta, Bones Highland balls out, that wasn't going to happen here. It's the same thing with Moussa Diabate and seller's remorse there. It's like, he wasn't going to play here. So what does it matter? I am very high on this move today, both of them, because I asked right when they got Bogi, okay, so what does this mean for KPJ? That was the first thing I asked. Well, 20 minutes later, he's gone. Now it looks like you have a little bit more stability and certainty with roles, with backups. That's what we want to see. Consolidation. I just need stability in the backcourt. And a guy who can score in Bogi. That's perfect for this Clippers team. That is a great move from Lawrence Frank. Everybody calling out Lawrence Frank earlier today. There was some nasty stuff I saw on Twitter. Make sure the apology is as loud as the disrespect was, because this was a great move. Both of them, great moves. I mean, KPJ is addition by subtraction. I'm sorry, guys. Losing KPJ is addition by subtraction. It was not working. He wasn't making big enough leaps and strides to say, oh, he was figuring it out. The same issues were happening. Bad shots taken out there. Low IQ basketball plays. Good luck to him in Milwaukee, but I need guys who can be relied upon in the second unit. And maybe that comment from Kawhi Leonard, I kind of pontificated about this the other night, talking about the second group needs to be better. Maybe that, sent a message. I don't know. But I just love the moves that were made. James Wiseman tore his Achilles, right? He hasn't played. People are asking why you get traded for so little. He hasn't even played. I mean, that's why. I'm going to see if Justin Russo can join us here in a little bit. At some point, I do actually have to get ready. There's a game tonight going on. Patty Mills is 36, dude. Maybe that's why. He's an older player. People wondering about Patty Mills. Hey, maybe he'll have a resurgence with the Clippers. They do have an open roster spot now. So it doesn't mean they have to dump Patty Mills. I'm still waiting for Clay to admit that they can't trade KPJ. The contract won't allow it since he was spamming this chat for like a week doing that. Yeah, KPJ was a project. They took a flyer on him. It didn't work out. And Coach Lue at times seemed to be overly reliant on him because they didn't have many other options. Now they do. And there's still a buyout market, Frankie Boy 9. You're completely right. The Clippers, I think they're watching the buyout market. They have advantages in the buyout market that other teams do not have. I repeat, because they're under the first apron, they can bring in somebody who made more in the mid-level exception. And because they still have some of their mid-level exception left over from signing Derrick Jones Jr. this offseason, that is a big help. They can pay guys more. As I text Justin Russo here, they can pay guys more to bring them in. But we'll see who's bought out. People keep asking who will be available in the buyout market. We got to see here as things shake out. That's the issue going on right now. Is there any news on Ben Simmons? Sorry, I've been kind of a whirlwind here as monitoring all the trades and stuff comes in after the trade deadline. Clock strikes 12 p.m. Pacific time. I had Jamal Christopher on yesterday. We were talking about KPJ. He is definitely happy that he's moving on to Milwaukee. It's no disrespect, but I'm not sure he plays a winning brand of basketball. People keep saying, oh, it's because he's young. I've been asking over the last couple of days, are we sure that's it? He might just be this type of player. That's always going to be like this with Kevin Porter Jr. So KPJ for Sexton. You think they would have gotten Sexton? My God, what the F? Yeah, I'm sure Utah would have entertained that one. Danny Ainge is definitely picking up the phone. I'm not surprised that LT Sr. just asked that, says, I don't know what we're doing now. Someone help him, my God. That was one of the worst things I've seen here in a while. This chat. Oh, my goodness. KPJ for Sexton. You guys think Patty gets bought out? Well, here's the thing. They have an open roster spot because they sent out Bones and Mann for Bogi. So that opened up one spot. They can convert Jordan Miller's spot, his two-way, to a standard contract, or they can bring somebody in the buyout and they don't have to buy anyone else out. Some nasty comments in here. Overall, very happy. I think Lawrence Frank cooked as he has been. And this is a successful trade deadline for the Clippers. They got 3 second-round picks. They got Bogi. They got better while really not risking anything. Not risking anything. If Terance Mann and Bones go off to ball out in Atlanta, and I hope they do, I wish them all the best. Now people are saying KPJ for Ant Edwards. They're mocking the guy that said KPJ for Colin Sexton, like just complete casual stuff. LT was joking. Okay, I'm sorry, LT. You meant that was a Nico Harrison comment? Since, yeah, if Nico Harrison was the GM of he was the GM of if he was the GM for the Utah Jazz, excuse me, then maybe you could get Colin Sexton for KPJ. I got you now. My bad. I forgot those jokes were flying around a lot. Do you think the Clippers will buy out Patty Mills if they have to, if they pick up somebody on the buyout market and convert Jordan Miller's two-way standard contract? Clay is also a big casual in here. You said we should have got Booby Portis. Clay might be a troll. I don't even know. LT said, "All good, brother. This is fun." My bad. People are complaining what they got for KPJ. Like, KPJ is addition by subtraction, guys. Addition by subtraction. How do I grade the Clippers' recent trade? The trade deadline overall, or both trades separately? I don't know. B+. It's just, this is everything I've been talking about the last few days. If Terance Mann's healthy and the rest of the team is healthy, how is he playing? So therefore, bringing a guy who, if he's healthy, he fills positions of needs. He helps you in so many ways with Bogi. I need Bogi ball in my life. The only downside of Bogi is, obviously the injury stuff, but hopefully he'll be okay. Change of scenery, winning environment. He's not a great defender, but he does give effort, usually. That's positive. I think they both could be buyout candidates. Who's Harden's backup now? I think it's going to be by committee with Bogi and Chris Dunn. I don't know if Clay knows this, but they got Drew Eubanks. That's their backup center. They made a move. Daniel Tice got bought out. I thought he went to OKC and then got bought out. Tell me about that. I thought OKC just brought him in. Huh? LT said Eubanks is a good backup big. All I need is better than Mo Bamba. That's all I need. That's all I'm looking for. No, Chris Dunn is one of guys. Remember, Chris Dunn was brought into the starting lineup initially to help bring the ball up more, so James Harden doesn't have to. That's your main backup ball handler now, with Bogi supplementing some of it. That's it. Now, maybe they bring in somebody on the buyout still. That could totally happen. Tice was waived. Oh, that's interesting. I wouldn't hate Tice coming back. MKXLNT, thank you for the super chat. Tuke attacks. God, that freaking demon. Where did she go? So OKC waived Daniel Tice. I mean, everybody was freaking out about that move the other day. It's like, I don't know if it's that big of a deal, guys. I mean, I like Daniel Tice, and if the Clippers need front court help, maybe they bring him back. The Clippers have an open roster spot currently because they gave up 2 guys for 1 with Mann and Bones going to Atlanta for Bogi. They currently have an open roster spot. This is good. This is all about flexibility. This is the underlying theme of this front office and what they've been doing over the last summer to now is about flexibility. Some want Reggie Jackson back. That could be your backup ball handler. Some are saying we don't want Tice. Ty doesn't play young guys for some reason. Did you see how much KPJ just played this year? Try to get something for Patty Mills. You're not going to get anything for him. I want to see, is Ben Simmons going to get bought out? Do you guys have anything on that? Some are saying CP3. This is absolute casual stuff. Bogdan isn't that much better than T-Man. We need a power forward. Bogdanovic, Bogi, last season was 5th in 6th Man of the Year voting, right behind Norman Powell, who was 4th. He was averaging 17 a game. When has Terance Mann done that? When has Terance Mann taken 8 3-pointers a game like Bogi did last season? My goodness, Joshua. Some people, do you even watch ball? What are you talking about? I like Larry Nance. I like Larry Nance. Could he get bought out? Hey, if Malcolm Brogdon gets bought out, sure. Look at his numbers this year. Bro, he's been injured. He's been banged up. You're putting everything into this year? Please. He has a skill set that Terance Mann does not have at all. At all. Jonathan's saying there's way too much casual stuff right now for me to keep track of our help or to help moderate. T-Man doesn't get the opportunities that Bogdan does. He was the starter this year. He was in the starting lineup. Terance Mann got all the opportunities in the world. Shut up. I'm sorry, but just what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? They gave him every opportunity. Stop talking, Joshua. You're killing me. You're killing me. How many games? As many as it took to see that he wasn't good enough and wasn't playing well enough. All right, this is a timeout. I can't take it anymore. This is a borderline block. Yeah. Turns out you don't play well enough, and there's guys that are playing better than you. After 11 games, you're getting taken out of the starting lineup. He had every chance in the world, every opportunity, Terance Mann, to own this season. It didn't happen. JJ the Boy said, LOL, working while hearing Adam trying to process the mind of a casual is hilarious. T-Man had so many opportunities. Cap puts it best. Bogi is a combo guard who can play off the ball with Harden as a floor spacer. The shots done is missing. Bogi will hit from the three-point line. Somebody else said, Adam R. We got some whack jobs up in here, Adam, or just some trolls? Well, there are 300 people in here, so I expect some of it. Mike said, I'm usually on the side if it's okay to be a casual, but damn, that was a bad one. Yawning tears. What backup big are you going to get for KPJ in a second? Who are you going to get? He's gone now. It's addition by subtraction. Good luck to KPJ in Milwaukee. But they are a better positioned playoff team without him, with the moves they just made. Sid said Seth Curry would not be bad to have off the bench. Thanks for the super chat, Sid. Except he has serious limitations. I like Seth Curry, and he has cooked the Clippers a couple of times. But his size, he can be food defensively. He gets hunted. My cats are going crazy. I think it's because I screamed about the Terance Mann thing. Yeah, thank you, Jonathan, our moderator here. Ow! KPJ's contract wasn't getting us anything of substance. He was on a minimum. My cat is going to type something nasty on the keyboard and send it out on Twitter and going to say it's me. Just like runs across the keyboard. I don't know if Ben Simmons is getting bought out. He's got a huge contract. They don't want to win. He's been playing decently. Chris Middleton get bought out? Maybe. I would take Chris Middleton. I would take Ben Simmons. Some people have been talking about Dwight. Dwight might have too much baggage. Again, people wanting the backup is like, they just got Drew Eubanks. Did you not hear? Drew Eubanks is on the team. I'm not saying he's a cure-all. I am saying that's who they picked up. That's who they're going with, I think. Not too bad, I hope. Why they get rid of KPJ? For all the reasons we brought up this entire year, all the criticism we've heaped upon him for his play, I thought not too bad, I hope, was better than this. It is addition by subtraction. KPJ is completely erratic. He was necessary for a time because they didn't have someone like Bogi. He's not anymore. I don't even think it was necessary then. I would have just gone with Terance Mann and Chris Dunn handling the ball. Drew Scott said we'll always have Game 6 versus Utah. Not trading KPJ for a need is an absolute fail. He's on a minimum contract, yawning tears, and isn't very good. What exactly were you going to get for him? Oh, my God. I'm being inundated with just like casual. Someone else said, oh, my God. I think my brain's going to explode. LT, I hope, is trolling still. Chris Lopez is bringing up something interesting. I'm thinking Nance, Dwight, Bogdan, or Seth. Bojan Bogdanovic? They got Bogdanovic. What? Oh, you're saying he's already there? All right. I got a tweet here from Law Murray I got to check on, guys. Law Murray is saying a player to monitor for the Clippers as the buyout market begins to form is Brooklyn Nets Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons, I've been saying all week, if you can get Ben Simmons on the buyout, you do it. Oh, Malcolm Brogdon, I'm sorry. Yeah. Malcolm Brogdon would be great. Ben Simmons, it'd be interesting to see what he could do on a team like this. People would rather have Brogdon. Simmons better for the roster and defense, said Rugby. Malcolm Brogdon is injured a lot. Ben Simmons has been injured a lot. Clay said leave Ben Simmons alone. Sista One said Benny Simmons, baby. He can play the point and can play the 5, and he just play makes and makes defense and plays defense. Lakers get Luka. Clippers get Simmons. Oh, that headline. Says MKXLNT. Big Will Updike has talked about wanting Ben Simmons to play the 5 in a small ball 5 lineup. Not too bad, I hope. Says Ben Simmons is a versatile big. Don't need him to shoot. They didn't get a lot for KPJ because you can't get a lot for KPJ. They got Beauchamp. Marjan Beauchamp. He's a small forward. 6'6", 6'7". He is not playing much in Milwaukee. He's averaging 2 points per game and 5 minutes per game in 26 games this season. Oh my God. Yawning Tears does not understand. This KPJ move was absolutely a terrible move. He's been trending up and we know his ceiling. Oh, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, KPJ truthers, they can't let it go. Like, if you can't see bad basketball IQ and stuff that isn't winning basketball, I don't know what to tell you. He is talented, but I don't know if I buy into it's just because he's young that he makes so many of these mistakes. He may just be that type of player. Sid said the spacing for Ben would be horrendous. He doesn't have any offense around the rim. You got to understand, if you're playing him in a small ball lineup, there's going to be 4 shooters out there likely. Joshua said, you really blocked me? No, I really timeouted you. I don't want yes men in here. I want critical thinkers and people who are actually bringing something knowledgeable. Not people who think Bogi and Terance Mann are the same player. Someone saying Bogdan after the All-Star break finally be shooting like Norm. Bruce Brown Jr. would be nice. I like Bruce Brown Jr. a lot. I'm with that. There's still a chance we get La Murray in here. Cavs and Rockets also want Simmons. He was saying KPJ was one of our only ball handlers. Like, how many games did he come up big in? How many? 3? Maybe? Really? They have Bogi now. As soon as they got Bogi, go rewind this. I said, well, what's going to happen with KPJ? No, not everyone who disagrees with me is a casual at all. It's just, Joshua, if you think Bogi and Terance Mann are the same players when Bogi was taking 5 threes per game and 8 threes per game last season and finished top 5 and 6 man of the year voting, well, it's just factually not true. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about. And then you complain about Terance Mann not getting an opportunity when he started the season. He was their starting 2 guy. He was starting next to James Harden. Oh, he didn't get an opportunity. He was starting. You're factually incorrect. We don't need misinformation. We don't need people who are so out to lunch because they like a certain player and so they are blinded by the fact that they don't know what they're talking about. Buyout time has started already. Again, Sid, if Ben Simmons is playing in a 5-out lineup, with 4 shooters, it doesn't matter that he can't shoot. Excuse me, 1 in, 4 out, because he's not a shooter. If he's playing next to shooters, you can make that work with Ben Simmons, and the Clippers like to play small. It would be interesting to have him there. All right, Joshua's getting another timeout. He proved his casualness. So people are saying, can we just get rid of Josh, Adam? I'm tired of this guy. Like, yeah, 3 strikes, you're out. That's how it typically works. He's on 2 timeouts now. He's just talking complete nonsense. Here we go. Kato said, great trade. Thank you, Clippers. Now get rid of Zoo. Oh, my God. You had me in the first half. We got another casual here, or maybe a troll. Do people realize, hey, Kato, how do you explain Ivica Zubac having the 4th best net rating in the league when it comes to on the court versus off the court? He's only behind Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Victor Wembanyama. I'm gonna bring this up because we have a Zoo hater in here, and those people are actually blind. Like, they have real issues. So I'm gonna bring something up here, a chart for you guys. Look at this. Team net ratings, how much they outscore the opponents per 100 possessions when each player is on the court versus when he is off the court, and the difference between the two. Ivica Zubac has the 4th best rating in the league behind Wembanyama, SGA, and Nikola Jokic on the season. And there are still people that are so devoid of brain cells, this is a nice way to put it, that they don't like Ivica Zubac? Are you kidding me? How on earth? It's because, he doesn't have good hands. Like, they think he has like 10 turnovers per game or something. None of that lines up with reality. You have to be a Zoo hater to be this blind. Zubac is, at worst, I would say this season, the 7th best center in the league, at worst. Making, on a team-friendly salary, these people, they're helpless. Oh, even Gilbert Arenas says he doesn't see Zoo as a starting big. Oh, Gilbert Arenas said that? All right, I'm about to end the chat. I'm getting dumber. You guys are making me dumber. How do those ratings impact wins? Oh, my God. Oh, it started off so well. It turns out when you're 12 points better per 100 possessions with a guy on the floor, you're outscoring teams by 12 per 100 possessions with a guy on the floor. It turns out that affects winning, Cato. Jesus Christ. And then Gilbert Arenas. The Gilbert Arenas thing, was that a troll? Like, that's such a good troll. That's such a good troll if that's the case. Like, that's brilliant. Like, that's got to be a troll, right? Drew Scott said you got to sick your cats on the casuals. I'm going to see if Law can come on so I can stop looking at the chat. I can't take much more. This is some of the dumbest stuff I've ever heard. Other people are wondering, why did they get Beauchamp? Because it helped them get rid of KPJ. It's called addition by subtraction. I thought Clipper Nation was aware of this saying. If anyone is, it should be them. Zoo is at worst the 7th best center this season in the league. At worst. I've gone through the entire list. Y'all know that deserves Zoo. Like, you don't understand. He literally was the best rim protector in the league last season. And he's always top 5 in that area. He is the most underappreciated player in the NBA. He has to be because he's this good, and there's a faction of fans, Clippers fans, that don't like him. It's insane. Yeah, this is a good point by Sista1. KPJ had a player option for next season, was definitely going to pick it up. Beauchamp has an expiring after this year. Front office clears more cap space. There's another $4 million. Jesus, God help the Zoo haters. God help them. I don't know if they should be allowed to watch basketball. I don't know if they have any idea the amount of 2020 games he has had this season against good competition, against Triple J, against AD. It's laughable. It really is. It makes me sad though. Yeah, Gil's a troll too, obviously. Richard said without Zoo, we'd be 10 games below 500, probably. Y'all ain't tears. They may not know that yet, or they may have a need for him. They may figure it out with the Bucks. What matters is the Clippers will be better off without him now because they have Bogi. Because they'll have him and Chris Dunn handling the basketball. So for the Clippers, it's addition by subtraction. That's all that matters. You don't worry about the other team. I get it. You're a KPJ fan. Where's Rock? Where's that guy Rock? Quentin said, Adam, some Clippers fans look like Cowboys fans. Look at Dak Prescott. Some just aren't impressed. I can understand that more than Ivica Zubac stuff, really. The logic of Ivica Zubac is he can't hold on to the ball because people saw him drop passes his first season as a Clipper because he had broken hands and shouldn't have been playing. And so now whenever he drops passes, they just think it's happening all the time. Crazy how he doesn't have high turnover numbers, and none of that stuff's true. None of that stuff is rooted in reality. Beauchamp, maybe he gets waived, maybe he gets bought out, but they have an open roster spot. Again, the Clippers have an open roster spot right now, guys. The Clippers have an open roster spot. I'm not a Zoo fan. I'm a fan of winning. I'm a fan of guys that help the Clippers win. That's what I'm a fan of. I don't care as long as you help the Clippers win. 6 abs said at this point, if you still don't like Zoo, it's a no-brainer. Like, if you can't understand this number and say, well, how does that translate to winning? Being 12 points better per 100 possession with that player on the floor, like, Zoo fans are afraid of math, apparently. They are terrified. KPJ's LT Senior is still trolling. Stop it, LT. I'm going to give you a timeout because I got so many messages in here. I can't decipher who's joking and who's not. Kato, you're not on the same page because you look at this information here and you don't understand how this applies to winning. You don't understand these numbers. We're not on the same page, my guy. You think Zubac drops basketballs, and that's more important than this. Ditch Cardo? Nah, he's not being belligerent. He's not being mean or anything. He just has a god-awful opinion that's not rooted in reality at all. Is Joshua even still in here? Top buyout candidates? I haven't seen. Do we know who's getting bought out yet? I haven't seen anything on Ben Simmons. Some are saying Bruce Brown is going to get bought out. Is he bought out? Some are predicting he's going to end up going to the Lakers. We can't have that. Malcolm Brogdon is good. Once upon a time, last summer, the Clippers actually had him. You're concerned about the chemistry? I'm not. Get Giannis's brother so you can get Giannis. What do I think they do with Jordan Miller? LT Senior's being serious since I started to just ignore him. I think he gets converted to a standard contract. Oh my God. 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 Cotto. This is not equate, my guy. Can somebody else deal with Cotto's empty logic? Like he's bankrupt of logic. Don't forget about Kai Jones. Well, he is in the G League now. I don't think Kai Jones is going to be playing significant minutes the rest of the season. Cotto said, sorry, I'm done. Okay, good. Send him to timeout. If you don't know what it means to be 12 points better per 100 possessions with this player on the floor and it beats the Zubats, then we can't talk basketball. We can't. Like, this is all the stuff coaches look at, front offices look at. This is what matters. Lineup data. It is a huge part of the game. 12 points better, 100 possessions. You are outscoring the opposition by 12 points basically per game, 100 possessions. There's about 100 every game. The Zoo hate is crazy, man. Unknown says Cotto has to have terminal brain illness, can't be serious. He could be a troll. I don't know if people are being serious or not in here. I don't know who's real. I just know at this point, Zubac is dunking on the haters as much as he is dunking on the opponents this season. He is at worst the 7th best center in the NBA. Talk about Zoo in the playoffs? Sure. He was their second best player against Dallas last year, getting like 16-11. LT is, I'm going timeout just so he stops trolling. I like LT, but it's getting annoying. Yeah, Zoo's in his prime. He's also just being used now. He's getting more opportunities out there. That's what's important. People are still talking about Terance Mann, reminiscing, looking at the big games he had. He was good against Dallas in that Game 7 in 2021 too. Adam, you should have people that participate must have a check mark. Yeah, thank Magic Johnson every day for Ivica Zubac, because if they had Zubac next to Anthony Davis, they probably win like 2 more titles, the Lakers, outside of the bubble. I think both guys could get waived, but we'll see. People really like this trade. They have an open roster spot currently, so they don't need to waive or buy out anyone to convert Jordan Miller's contract. There's an argument to be made when you account for both sides of the floor that Ivica Zubac is actually their best player this season. When you account for availability and both sides of the floor and what he means, there is an argument to be made that Ivica Zubac is their most impactful and best player this season. The Mike Muscala for Ivica Zubac trade is an all-time fleece job. No doubt about it. Hey, the Orange Frank did well, guys. The Orange Frank did real well. I think Bogi has a great chance of getting back to form. They have, I think, about $2 million. Let me check Justin Russo. Let me see how he puts it. Right now, Justin Russo is pointing out that Clippers can get to roughly $70 million in cap space in the summer of 2026. They can get to roughly $70 million in cap space in the summer of 2026. That's with Kawhi still on the books. This is the plan, guys. Be competitive now. Be flexible for the future. This front office is cooking. $70 million next summer? Are you kidding me? I'm telling you, the Clippers are on the right path to recovering from, unfortunately, the disappointment of the 2-1-3 era, not winning a championship. Now, if Kawhi's healthy this year, things could get very interesting. People saying we need Giannis to demand a trade. Durant signing. We'll always love Terance Mann. But this was the right move. This makes the Clippers better this season. It makes them more competitive in a playoff series. Significant impact? It depends on what level Bogi gets to. A healthy Bogi could swing a playoff game, for sure. If Bogi gets right, that's a guy who could swing a playoff game for you. Go look what he did for Serbia against Team USA. They're up 20 in that game thanks to his 20 this past summer. That was Bogi cooking. Somebody else, Cap Ross, saying Bogi will play off Harden like he did with Young, come off screens as a shooter or a spot-up catch shooter off the short roll pass coming from Zoo. Yeah, having Norm on one end, Bogi on the other corner. That's kind of a horns action, stuff the Lakers do with JJ Redick. How do I feel about the players involved in the trade? Are there any standouts who you think will thrive with their new teams? I think if Bogey's right, Bogi is a year removed from taking 8 threes per game and scoring 17 points per game. I love Bogdanovic. I've loved him since Sacramento. That's not what I'm seeing from Justin Russo, who's crunching the numbers right now, Jonathan. He's saying $70 million. You're not accounting for, I think, Kawhi's contract still being on the books next summer. Are you saying for 2027? because I don't think that's accurate based upon Justin Russo's reporting. Because Kawhi is still making 50. He's still under contract then. I like Coffee, Bogi, and Batum pairings. All play smart and can shoot. Add Dunn to that and find a big on the buyout market. It's a better bench than we had for sure. Definitely. Bogi gets scorching hot. When he's cooking, he's a flamethrower. Batum is a defensive liability, though. That's a straight timeout. I ain't got time for this. You meant for 2027. Thank you. How is Bogi's defense? It's not great, but he at least tries on that end. And they need his offense badly, and they have enough defenders they can hide him. People like Beauchamp say it's a sneaky good move. I haven't seen enough of his game. Got to be honest. Just talked about Bogi on defense. People talking about Batum isn't a good defender. He literally has been guarding all 5 positions basically his entire fucking career. What the hell are you talking about? I didn't mean to swear, but I will defend Nico Batum to the death. That's one of the dumbest things I've seen in here today. We've had some really bad comments. The hell are you talking about? He was just with France defending SGA and Dennis Schroeder in the Olympics. Jesus. I know this is the most people we've had in a live, I think, over 300. I am a Beauchamp casual. I admit to that. I got to take that L. But we are getting some fringe crazies here. I have no idea what anybody is talking about with Nico Batum saying he's not a good defender. Did they mean Bogi and not Batum? What? Whoever said that about Batum needs to be baptized. Some have said Mann hasn't been the same since that ankle injury to start off last season. I don't know if I'd go that far. He's still just 28. If Malcolm Brogdon, they're not going to get both. So it's not even a question. They're not getting both. That's not going to happen. Can Bogi thrive in a slow offense like the Clippers? I mean, the backups can play faster. Yeah, Bogey's fine, dude. Yes. To answer your question, yes. Bogey's fine. Yeah, like Batum is a known 3-and-D and one of the most versatile defenders in the league. As somebody in here, maybe they meant Bogi instead of Batum. I have no idea because I just muted him immediately. Acting like Batum, some liability on defense. Okay. You guys aren't seeing the vision for Ben Simmons if they bring him in. What you do is you surround him with 4 shooters. You treat him like a center. But the difference is Ben Simmons is a great passer, can bring the ball up the floor. No, he can't shoot it. He can get layups, and that's about it. And even sometimes he turns those down. But you play him at the small ball 5 and have another passer, another hub, either in the high post or low post and making passes. That's the vision for Ben Simmons. No, you don't play him next to Zubac. You don't play him next to Eubanks. Richard said, I'm telling you, Adam, these comments, Zoo and Nico, they don't watch us play. Some don't. All right, I'll stay on for another, 15 minutes here. We'll see how this goes. Unless you guys give me more super chats or something, but I ain't begging. But I do need to pay some bills. Remember, Clipper Stock is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. It's the easiest way to play fantasy sports, and it's available in over 30 states. All you got to do is pick higher or lower on your favorite player's stats or least favorite player's stats. It is that simple, guys. I'm telling you. All you got to do is pick higher or lower on your favorite player stats or least favorite player stats, and here's what you can win. Up to 100 times your money. Make picks, win money. And I got a free promo code for you that gives new users a free pick and up to $1,000 in bonus cash. The promo code is LAC, and you can find it and the referral link in the description down below in this very episode. Then what do? Go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Check out the NBA games that are going on tonight and just pick higher or lower on some of those stats. Underdog Fantasy, make picks, win money. Adam talking facts about Simmons. Brilliant at bringing the ball up the court. Yeah, he is. F said, I heard if Adam gets enough super chats, the team will get a good buyout guy. Holo Dolo said, I disagree with the takes that Ben would hurt the team. Our bench offense is horrible as is. He's a playmaker and high-end defender, can rebound. It's perfect. Yeah. Him playing the 5, your small ball 5 is now Ben Simmons. I'm interested in that. PJ said Lawrence Frank deserves to be fired. I don't know what he's spoken. BJ's my guy, but I don't know what he's talking about. I love BJ, but we might disagree on this one. Yeah, the Clippers are playing a game tonight, by the way. T-Man, I told you this summer, when they brought in Derek Jones Jr., when they brought in Chris Dunn, it made T-Man expendable. I've been on T-Man watch since those moves were made. I've been wondering for that long, what's going to happen? He got the extension, and guess what? It was still tradable. Damn, Amazon stock fell 7% after earnings. It was still tradable. Everybody worried that, what could they get for Terance Mann now? Well, they got Bogi and 3 second-round picks. I'm taking it. I'm taking it and running with it. Simmons won't shoot those threes. He won't do what Russell Westbrook did. He's a much, I think, higher IQ basketball player. He doesn't make as many crazy, erratic passes. He's not playing at a breakneck pace that's too fast for his own good. Look, I'm interested in Ben Simmons. They use him right. I think that could be advantageous. Kawhi's more active on social media. Did he post something? No, I'm checking. X. Jaden Springer was waived by the Rockets. People don't realize on here, they keep saying Clippers need to waive guys. They have an open roster spot right now. They do. Maybe it's going to be taken up by Jordan Miller. Awesome. Convert his two-way to a standard. Yeah, a lot of people, this is a great point. King Jag said a lot of people are focused on their desire for a better 4 or 5 and don't see beyond that. Look, Ben Simmons has his issues. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying it could be a good fit off a buyout. PJ said, I remember commenting that we should get Ben on a buyout. And you put me down for it. Linker, it didn't happen. Pull the clip. Can they bring 2 guys? Then they'd have to buy somebody out. They only have 1 roster spot open currently. They could buy out Patty Mills. Mark Jag, what'd I miss? Rewind. Again, this whole Luka Doncic is so bad defensively. Well, then how were the Dallas Mavericks last season the number one defense in the league after the trade deadline? If he's so bad, how could they still be the best defense and get to the NBA Finals? Turns out you can hide guys in today's league. If they're so bad, if he's so bad, how could he and Kyrie be in a starting lineup and on a team that's the number one defense after the trade deadline last season? When are people going to realize this stuff? Jonathan Ing said Ben Simmons kills two birds with one stone. Playmaker as a backup point guard, solid defender, and small ball five. I think it's more than two birds. PETA might be calling. Middleton, is he going to get bought out? He's just a shell of himself, but I mean, I'd be interested. Buyout market. Clippers have a ton of advantages to bring in guys on the buyout. Other teams don't. Sham said it. Clippers and Cavs, potential suitors for Ben Simmons if bought out. Yeah, Beauchamp, Patty Mills, I could see both of them being bought out, waived. I don't know the answer to this question. It's a good one, Andy. Sorry, I'm a casual. I'm going to have Eric Pincus on. He's a capologist. You guys probably follow him. Sometime this weekend, maybe Monday, and we'll talk about the Clippers cap situation, get to the more detailed, high-level questions like you're asking. Kyrie's defense was good in the playoffs. Yeah, I kept telling people Kyrie can play good defense when he wants to. Luka can play good defense when he wants to. Believe it or not, I don't just go off these lame narratives. I watch tape. It turns out Dallas, they were hiding two guys apparently. Because Kyrie's he's not a good defender, right? He's food. Luka's food. Well, they were able to hide him. Simmons could actually be the missing player on a contender and be the Rodman for us. I would be interested to see Simmons, after all he's been through the last couple of years, in a winning environment, with this culture, in that role of being the backup point center. That's what he could be. Jonathan said, Luka is a good post defender. He is terrible in the pick and roll and against guys in motion for the most part. But I have seen him put the clamps on the perimeter a few different times. I hope nobody hides food from Luka. Oh, my God. Y'all killing me. PJ O'Brien said, should Clippers trade Terance Mann? Oh, my God. Oh, you're telling me in there? It's in that video? All right, I'll look for it. I'll play the game. Because I've been on the Ben Simmons train for a little bit now. I think Will Updike had a really good idea. Let's see. PJ O'Brien, is that going to be your name in the comments section? I have no problem pulling a receipt in real time on myself if there's an issue here. What's your name in the comment section, PJ O'Brien? Because I'm not seeing you in here, nor the comment that you're talking about. Others talking about the change of scenery for Ben Simmons and what that could do for him. Just to see Simmons and Batum on the same team with Harden, who they were traded for in the last 3 years, would be funny. Interesting. Zone said KPJ had a few moments, but ultimately way too chaotic running a second unit. Thank you. That's well said. I don't see anyone named PJ O'Brien in the comment section for this episode that you're referencing. Is it the episode, Would You Trade T-Man? Like, nobody else cares about this. If you could find it more easily for me. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong episode. I'm looking at the Terance Mann, Robert Williams one. We will see you in the pregame chat. Rugby. PJ Tucker getting bounced around like ping pong. All right. My throat's worn out. Still got a game tonight. Clippers made the right moves. Sad to see Terance Mann go, of course. But excited for what Bogi can bring. The second-round picks, the cap flexibility. They can have $70 million to play with next summer. Clippers are doing this the right way. I trust in L. Frank. I always have. I understand how some people can't see the vision. We'll talk to you guys pregame later tonight. I believe game tips off at 7:30, so we'll have pregame at 6:30. Clippers hosting the Indiana Pacers. They need a victory. They have not played the right way. Coach Lue called them out. We'll see how they respond tonight. All right, everyone, be good. We'll talk to you at 6:30. I'm Adam Moslem. This has been another edition, a trade deadline special edition of Clippers Talk.